me and a friend decided to do a website. And what this website did was it went to parties, took pictures, posted the pictures online to drive traffic. We bought our first camera. I had done this in the past back in LA for a site called theclubmix.com. And so I kind of had a little bit of experience, but I wasn't a photographer by any means. So when we got the camera, the first thing I did was I went to YouTube, studied. I looked up different photographers, their little tutorials on YouTube, kind of got a feel, especially for the direct camera I had, of things I could do to, better my images. Started off with that. I hit up local club promoters, asked them if I could get access to the club to shoot. Went in, shot, handed out my card, got a little bit of a buzz going, but it was hard because my partner never really worked with me. It was only me in the streets. Although I enjoyed it, it's tough. So in that time, I saw a concert. I think the first music concert I shot was Tech Nine. Now, before I ever did photography, I used to work in the music business. One of my close friends was Glasses Malone, who was signed to Cash Money Universal. And so I was with him a lot, and I actually went on some tour dates with him with Tech Nine. And so when I saw Tech Nine, I'm like, yo, I remember him. He's a super inspirational artist, probably the biggest hip-hop independent artist there was at the time. He was like the godfather of independent hip-hop, basically, outside of, Master P. But as far as the artist goes, like, he figured out the blueprint, went out and did it on his own. So I applied, and the way I applied was I found out who the promoter was, which was Live Nation. So I went to Live Nation's website, emailed them like, hey, how can I shoot? They gave me the email to the point of contact for Houston. And so I went ahead, contacted them, applied. I used my website at the time. Now that's something we'll talk about later. I used my website at the time, and I ended up getting access, got to shoot it. Came out with some pretty good shots. That was when I developed my love for it. So then the next person I got to shoot was Neo, and I was actually shocked I got that, even looking back. So I got to shoot all three of these all under my own website. Eventually I didn't have my website anymore. So what I did was I kept posting my images, and a lady came to me and like, hey, I work for this magazine. We need photographers. I got this show. Will you mind shooting it? I said, sure. So the show was for Joe Budden, shot that. From that point on, they put me on the team. I went to a meeting. They ended up, kind of giving me the ins and outs of things. It was an experience, I'll say that. It was things I didn't like about working with them, but what I did like was the access. 9 times out of 10, I had to get my own access, but at least I had a platform to be able to get access. I was a hustler. I knew how to do it already, so I was able to go get certain shows and artists on my own without having to wait for them to tell me, hey, shoot this, shoot that. Because of the business side, I stopped working with that publication. I'm not going to say their name, but during that time I got the cover shots on one of the covers I worked on, and pretty much shots all throughout the whole magazine. So fast forward, I lost that angle. So the next thing I did was I hit up my homeboy Chuck Dizzle, who I went to college with, who's on Homegrown Radio. Him and one of my closest friends, DJ Head, they do Homegrown Radio back in LA. They had a website. So I hit him up like, hey, will I be able to use you guys as my platform to be able to take shots? He said, sure, I just need you to write a recap because we don't want to just post random pictures. So that helped also. It kind of gave me something to do on top of that, and that led up to things later. I'll get back into that. So I was using Homegrown Radio, doing lots of shows because their platform numbers were way bigger than the magazine. So I was getting almost everything. It's some things you'll understand in photography, like with music, there's politics involved. And sometimes the managers or the publicists or the artist or the record label just don't allow certain photographers or any photographers at shows for whatever reason. So no matter what the numbers is, you just won't get it. Got to use them. And then the general manager of them, who worked for Hip Hop DX, hit me up like, hey, I would like for you to be able to do this same thing for Hip Hop DX. And at this point, I'm like, yo, it's getting to where I want it to be, because Hip Hop DX had even bigger numbers, huge numbers. And so one of the head ladies from Hip Hop DX hit me up, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, cool, I'm in there, let's get this. But I kind of like things my way. I want to be able to see what shows I want to do, go ahead and apply. All I need is the numbers and the information so I could put it in when I apply. They wanted me to run it by her first, and then I can know for sure. And she wanted me to sign this contract and everything about sending the pictures to her first. Publications, they want the images first. They want exclusive, they want first. Eventually, she never sent the contract. So that opportunity never happened. Kept going, using homegrown. And one of my friends, Jaleesa, who worked for Revolt TV at the time, she hit me up like, hey, I see your work, it's dope. Can you send me pictures and I'll post them? And I'm like, yo, hell yeah, that's dope. So I sent her pictures over, and I thought about it. I'm like, hey, can you hit up one of your supervisors or whoever you work under and see if I can start using you guys for access? So what she did was she hit her boss, showed him the images that, they were posting, and he agreed. So he sent me over a letter saying, hello, welcome to the circle of photographers and videographers for Revolt TV. You can use us for access. If anybody has any questions, they can give me a call, give me an email, whatever. Now I'm like shooting under Revolt TV, which is huge. Like, they have real high numbers. Everything is good. So what I did is, I just kept at it, basically. I kept grinding, kept building my portfolio, kept showing people what I can do, and over time, I got more and more opportunities. So that's kind of what you want to do. Now, like I said, when you want to start, the first thing you have to do, of course, you got to have your camera. You want to learn your camera. You want to learn what you're doing. It's trial and error. Sometimes I wish I can go back to shows that I did in the past, knowing what I know now, because I would have known, adjust your shutter speed some, adjust, your ISO some. It's really a gamble every time you go to a venue. You don't know how the lighting is going to be. Sometimes it's super dark. Sometimes the lighting is perfect. Understand all the pit rules. 9 times out of 10 is the first 3 songs, and that's all you're going to get. So you better shoot your shot that whole time. And you'll see some photographers, they'll get in there, they'll get like a few good shots, and then they're done. Like, they're like, I don't care, I've shot this person 1,000,000 times. Usually they're perfection every time they shoot. So it's like, all right, these 10 are cool. Me, I feel like you're never, I always want to get the perfect shot. And even if I got the perfect shot, I want to get another perfect shot or another one. Like, I just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. And then when I'm done, then I'll go back and it'll be 200, 300 pictures. And I might only have 8 good ones out of all of them. But I never want to settle. I want to keep going and keep getting the best shot I can get.